So a couple weeks ago now, we did your top 5 least favorite costumes of all times. Today we're going to do the top 3.
Hello, this is Rita, and this is me and my mommy's podcast, and then my mommy, and there's me, and I'm just talking about this stuff, and there's me tap dancing because this is the tap dancing slash autism podcast, and there's a bunch of animals, and I'll be trying to in my hair, and there's bunch of sand and oh shit. Also, there's also that stuff, I love my mental music. Oh, that I know the old just like a life stop and had this. Oh, and those them my boots. My boots are amazing. Also, there's me. Try not to have a panic attack. Also, this is a podcast about me. I did like tap dancing and blah blah blah. I'm the ADHD missing. Also, they make you adorable pop.
Hey, Lita, how you doing? You do remember we're filming a recording a podcast right now, right?
Oh, I did turn off my microphone.
She didn't even remember. I realized I hit record, did you? Um, so a couple weeks ago now, we did your top 5 least favorite costumes of all times. Today we're going to do the top 3, but we have a special announcement about podcasts.
Top three favorites.
The top 3 favorites.
Because he does say favorites. You just said we get the top five I didn't like, and just said today we're gonna do the top three.
Okay, thank you for catching me on that. We're going to do the top 3. We have some cool news about the podcast we're doing at the end of the podcast, so stay tuned for that. We're also in the middle of looking for guests for the podcast, and we're going to talk about what we're looking for in a guest at the end of the podcast. So let's get started on your top 3. These are all for people who are new to the program. Can you explain what we're doing? We're working through your top 3?
Um, I don't know.
Okay. What were you and I both diagnosed with it a long, long time ago?
Autism.
What does autism tend to come with?
Hell in a handbasket.
Sensory issues. And a lot of people,
The hell in a handbasket.
you're a dancer. You've been a dancer for a long time. 7 years now.
That's so enough.
Almost 8 years. That is more than half of your life. But one thing is every dance studio has always put you in costumes, not caring whether or not it affects with your sensory issues, because they don't understand what sensory issues are.
I've seen them not care about children's allergies. Like it's
I mean,
so bad.
that's the thing, is that's also considered a deal. But we're going to do your top 3, and we're going to discuss why these 3 have made it into your top 3. What about the fabric? What about the stitching? All that fun jazz. Because your sensory issues are more than just, hi, I hate this fabric. It's like, hi, is there a high neck that's choking me? You're laughing over there. Can you handle the high neck costumes? Or it's like all the way up to
Okay, but don't choke yourself.
if you're not watching this on YouTube, or if I'll remember to put it on Spotify, it does not make sense, but don't choke yourself. Good idea. But your sensory issues involve more than just, oh, does this fabric feel good against my skin? It's like where your collar goes, because you have to have a very low collar or you feel like it's choking you. I've got a high t-shirt collar on today, and I can feel myself tugging on my shirt all day. You're giving me a look. People don't understand that's part of sensory issues, though. Isn't it part of sensory issues, Lita?
Oh, well, I'm not a scientist.
It is. But it's one of those things people just kind of roll their eyes going, well, it's just you don't like that. Yeah, it's called a sensory issue, and you can't just get a
Sorry, there's a. I'm sorry that the poisonous scorpion sting you. Get over it, you freaking whiny baby.
that's kind of what you hear when teachers and artists and like they're not ballet mistresses and ballet masters anymore. They're artistic directors. And when they are like, just get over the fact that I put you in sleep, your response is,
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's a whole freaking hornet's nest. One of the most deadliest, ruthless hornets going after you. What? What? Why you stinky, crying, whiny baby? Wait, no. Babies have more freaking. Babies have more willpower than you little whiny brat. It's she. And Lucas says, "Clara, you're physically dying." And so you're like,
Be focused on oh, my camera's slightly off. When you're busy focused on the sensory overload that they have put you on, it's kind of hard to remember the choreography they want you to do, isn't it? You're not speaking. This is
"See that? I'm gonna be eating popcorn."
um but some of the let's be honest, some of the people who've done it to you are teachers and choreographers you like without knowing what's going on.
Choreographers, yes. Teachers, let's see. 1, 2, 3 teachers that I like.
Part of that whole see it I don't see your autism, I just see you and that attempt to ignore your autism. So let's dive into it. So what is your number 3 costume of all times and why?
Angel, because I could best the wow was good, and it was coffee, and I had a hula hoop in the skirt.
Okay, so what about the costume made it something that you enjoyed wearing other than it was comfy? Like, was it a way this fabric felt across your skin? Was it loose versus tight? What's up with it?
Uh, eh.
Nah, is not an answer. Like, what about it made it more comfy than a lot of the other?
Also, the fabric wasn't made out of freaking flag fabric.
So didn't feel as stiff and harsh. Um,
Also, I don't know if you know this, but there was a hula hoop in the skirt, and they gave me a fidget toy. They gave me a fidget toy. They gave me a giant, giant fidget toy. They gave me the giant is a giant is a giant fidget toy that I was hula hoop in a freak skirt.
yeah, so they gave you a giant fidget toy.
And fidget toy.
What about like from waist down? It obviously wasn't tight. What about the bodice? Was the fabric really tight against your skin, or did you?
It was here. It was nice and appropriate levels of thickness and also appropriate levels of don't suffocate me, please.
Good, good, good.
Also, I had a giant fidget toy.
You had a giant.
In my skirt. There was a hula hoop in my skirt. I had a giant fidget toy.
So just to add fidget toys to costumes is all you're saying.
Yes.
While you're waiting backstage in the wings, you can fidget with something. Is that it?
No. So you can fidget if you want to see what you're on stage, everybody's going to stop and you was going down. I will keep fidgeting with my skirt.
That is not necessarily a good idea, though. You have to turn a lot of your skirts for your solos into fidget toys too. So
All fidget toys.
people don't realize you fidget with like because they don't see it the way you choreograph yourself. You've turned your skirts into giant fidget toys on stage, and it goes with the choreography. You have choreographed your fidgeting, which is a whole nother thing into it by itself. But like that's another episode.
They are back to it.
Anyways, back to so number one was the angel costume from Angels We Have Heard on High with ADT Alabama Dance Theater
Giant fidget toy.
from November 2019. Number two is what?
Hysterical.
Lyrical from March or from the 2022 ADT recital. What did you like about the lyrical costume?
It was cozy.
With
Also, the whole thing was a fidget toy.
oh no. This fidget toy costumes. Fidget toy costumes fun.
That was the
No. That is in different podcasts right now. We are talking about why you like your costumes, about why you fidget with your costumes, which is an entirely different podcast that will come out later this month. I have a feeling now that I'm thinking. But dear dancers, if you want to come on in the podcast and discuss how to turn your costume into a fidget toy with no one noticing, Lita is looking for guests. You want to come discuss that, aren't you, Lita Virginia? Yeah, just choreographer should just choreograph, but that's a different deal. That will be later this month. Okay, but outside of it, came with an actual fidget toy. It wasn't even a fidget toy. Your skirt ended on a fidget toy. Side of ask, what did you like about that? Now?
It feels nice and silky. And it was a great fidget toy.
This is going on. This is going great. This is going well. This is going great. This is not about fidget toy costumes because all of your costumes now that I'm in charge are all fidget toys. People do not realize that they are mainly fidget toys. All right. So, what did the neckline on that one? What did you think of the neckline?
I like it.
For people who are not listening to this or are listening to this, can you describe this one?
Um, Imagine a cloud had baby with piece fabric and that baby was costume.
Imagine a coral
Cloud.
a cloud. Okay. But like so it is a variant of pink. It goes from a darker pink to a lighter pink and variates down. It is a low neck, like not too low, but age appropriate low on you. There are not it's got like little teacup, barely little teacup sleeves, which I think for
Close. All slow fidget toys.
yeah, but for you absolutely positively go crazy with sleeves. I do not think I can explain this enough to former teachers of yours. Sleeves and you do not get along. Pants and you do not get along. It is a sensory issue people need to just get over and they're dealing with you on. This one didn't have you're giving me a look. You are giving me a teenager look. The look from the teenager is so teenagery, it is not even funny. Um no, I had a bunch of people come up to me and go, "Well, I mean, sleeves can be a problem. You are still giving me a look." And well, I mean, how are sleeves a sensory issue, which I think we discussed in the last episode when we discussed your five costumes. For you, not having sleeves almost automatically makes something a best costume, doesn't it? You have to pick up the microphone and talkie.
I not, I not.
Um, But honestly, and moving a high neckline down to not age inappropriate, not like, oh look, I'm showing way out too much skin, but you just move that neckline down below your collarbone, and you feel a lot better, don't you, in a costume?
Yeah. Lum.
You're like, yes, I do.
I
So let's go on um to your number one because I think the number one has your first biggest solo.
a bit unfortunately.
Why is it unfortunate?
Good. I don't like doing solos.
Okay, so accept the fact that you don't like it doing solos and everyone loves watching you do solos. Um, this costume was for your first big solo on the one year you did competition.
Yes.
You and I designed it. We spent months going me buying swatches from Mood going, can you handle this fabric? Can you handle this fabric? Can you handle this fabric? There were mock after mock after mock, Muslim mock, because I was not cutting into this fabric as mock dresses, was I?
Yes, yes. The man made it one big fidget toy.
I did make it one big fidget toy. But
We're very much making it one big giant fidget toy.
the thing is, you got to be part of this design from the very, very beginning, which I think is what makes this your favorite costume of all times, is you got to go, Mom, it was too tight, so we put gussets in. Mom, it's got a problem here, so we put that in. Mom, I have an issue here. I think we had at one point in time you didn't like how the armholes were, so we went and redesigned the armholes.
My arms staying the iron hills stopped here.
Yet they stopped where they theoretically should have. You don't like where they theoretically stopped, so we fixed where they stopped.
Like
But we were going for a specific silhouette, everything, and I think can't did getting to design your own costume, getting to say, "This is what I need in a costume," help you with your sensory issues?
it was fun and we made the thing one big fidget and toy.
I mean, it was a thing. Um,
I said it was purple. It was paper.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
paper.
you didn't even mind when we had it in the Muslim when we had it in the very cheap $4 a yard, not perfect fabric, you were like, "I'm starting to like this," because I did not cut into the expensive fabric until you gave me the go ahead.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of other kids might not have liked there's a lot of weight on that skirt because that is a full circle skirt.
Giant fidget toy.
But did you ever feel the weight on that skirt?
And not on it because it was on me. I wasn't on.
I mean, like, did you feel like the costume was pulling and making we even changed where the hip line is for you because you have a sensory issue on your hip line, do you not?
So I'm so sorry. I want to breathe.
So we dropped your hip uh, along the bodice. We dropped the hip line down. It wasn't where you should have been carrying that weight for that circle skirt because circle skirts are heavy.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever once mentioned it was heavy.
It wasn't. It was as light as a feather.
Um, you were even wearing it like on the steps of one of the theaters while you were drinking soda outside waiting for a thing to start. I think if you didn't need it for costuming, you would have lived in that outfit at one point in time. Probably. Um, the fact that you got to pick out the lining, the fact that you got to pick out the outer fabric, the fact that you got to pick out the design, how important was that to making sure all your sensory issues
Yeah.
were
Yeah. I don't know.
were addressed? Did you feel like there were zero sensory issues once you got into the costume?
Yes. No.
Did you have any outside of your like, ooh, I have a giant fidget toy because I have a great big circle skirt.
Not.
Um, yeah, it was a giant fidget toy. No, but that leads me to the one thing I wanted to touch on after we did all this. How important do you think it is for artistic directors to ask their sensory issue kids and dancers what their sensory issues are so that they can come up with a costume that might not be sensory overload?
And how important me should it be imported or shouldn't it be imported? So it isn't. It need to. It's hello. Yes, you see, I'm worried. Been delete this. Are you okay? Napping head? No, you're not. You know what? You know what? Who's got who fell lights in the old asylums? But I got that.
Well, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. There are a lot of dance teachers out there that are like, but I understand their sensory issues without coming up and asking full fledged, what are your sensory issues? Because they're thinking, oh, well, it's just that they don't like a certain fabric. For you, it's way more than you just don't like a certain fabric, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, where the neck line is on your
I'm not
outfit,
joking.
that's a sensory issue.
I already knew that. I'm not stupid.
Most dance studio owners and dance teachers don't know that, Lita.
Am I? Why do I feel like you're using me to I did not say, oh hello, yes, I'm telling this to the audience.
Well, that's kind of the whole reason of having a podcast is to tell things to the audience
Yes. But why do you keep saying Rita?
because you're the one who dealt with it. Here's, I mean,
Oh.
a lot of your teachers really felt like they knew what your sensory issues were without having a nice long talk with you.
Yeah, but also those teachers made me say, "Are you having a parasocial relationship?" No, hello, yes, I don't know you outside of this room.
I think one of the problems is that teachers have been told that they are the experts on a lot of this and that, there are the dance moms that are coming in getting upset because, oh, my child didn't have a solo, which is usually not me. Mine is my child cannot seem to do this choreography. Pull her before she embarrasses herself. Uh, Anywho's, you know what I'm talking about. And then they're like all confused because they're like, this isn't something I've done before. I've never had a parent go pull her because she can't get it and I need her understanding it. But a lot of your teachers don't understand how important the sensory is. Let's bring it out of costumes. You do not wear tights and a leotard at the studio. We're not going to force anyone into tights and leotards, but you're
Even if I didn't have like the most major sensory issues with that, those cuts on those things are yet suspicious.
okay, ignoring the cuts on some of those kid ones come up way too high and are showing hip bone when you're like 3, and maybe we don't need to be showing our hip bone when we're 3. I had another thing to discuss there. How hard is it to learn ballet when you've got a sensory issue against the tights and the leotard?
I didn't even learn it.
But you're now a teen helper in our ballet class and doing a lot better, I'd say, in ballet now that you're doing ballet in a Nike shirt, Nike shorts.
How about we just never mention this anywhere else but the podcast?
I know. But I think the other thing with sensory issues, you have a sensory issue, I think, with tap because when they're trying to tell you to grand plie in second position and you're like, this feels weird, teachers are like, just push through it. And you're like,
Big. What's sick? I'm pretty sure that's not sensory issue. I'm pretty sure that's just my body saying, hello, yes. Why can't we keep the guts on the inside?
no, it is, but that's the thing. Most neurotypical kids can push through that. They can push through the uncomfortableness. You're autistic. Your body starts going, nope, can't do that. Nope, nope, I'm going to put a minute left here. Nope, nope, can't do this.
Now I feel bad for it. No,
They can push through. Neurotypical kids do not, they will feel something's uncomfortable, but their body doesn't start reacting to it the same way a kid with sensory issues do. I think a lot of dance teachers don't understand that because a neurotypical kid can push past that uncomfortable spot. For a neurodiverse kid, it starts creating mental blocks. It starts saying, this is bad. Your fight or flight starts coming into. Did you realize that? You're giving me a look. Go ahead, talk.
so, good to be not typical sometimes.
Well,
Like in the sense of, hello, yes, I don't give a damn if you don't realize the doctors say that this will make all you get snappy on the inside. How we just don't give a damn that we don't know about that science, then we just keep it on the end.
ignoring the fact that a lot of female ballet dancers wind up with
So
collapses beforehand. They're
really bad that they ones that do what children can't have.
Well, I mean, yeah, ballet causes some issues, but let's get back to it. Tap doesn't give you the same issues that like ballet and jazz do when they're trying to get you low, and people do not understand. They have never understood as many times as I've tried to tell them. They're like, but that can't be a sensory issue. You are giving me a look. Would you like to pick up your microphone and say something?
So you feeling like your legs are definitely it's that they should be open. It's not a sensory issue. Okay.
It is a sensory issue. The problem is, I think so many people in their head do not understand what a sensory issue truly is. They think it's just like, oh, well, this just doesn't feel good against your skin. They don't understand, like, when you put your hair in a bun, you've got a major sensory issue, do you not?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Ignoring that, you do know, Lita, you know how your body feels. When your hair is in a bun, how does your body feel?
Uh, yeah.
Do you feel like you wanna rip that bun off your head?
Now I feel like my head's being ripped off. What do you mean?
That is a sensory issue, and when you've got your bun in your head, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about, "I need to my head is about to be ripped off?" Or are you thinking, "My teacher is trying to teach me what first position is?"
I could just shut up, freaking teacher. I don't give a damn if I need a bun. Shut the freak up and let me take it out.
But what I'm saying is they don't understand that that is a sensory issue. They don't realize that you're sitting there going, "I can't handle this. I am having a reaction to having a bun on my head." And they're like, "It's no big deal. You'll just get used to it." With a sensory issue, there is no getting used to it. So, like, your best performances have been since you've gotten to the point you're picking out what your costuming is. You're picking out what you're performing in. Because even when we're like, you can sort of handle working in Wranglers, can't you?
For like the most limited amount of time.
But what people don't understand is you're like tearing those off as soon as you get done.
Duh.
But you're not going down in ways that it will hurt you. Like, there is a difference in how you tap in Wranglers. You're a little bit more stiff in your Wranglers than you're going to be in, say, one of your skirts.
Okay.
And you're like, "Dear Wrangler, I need a circle jean skirt, please."
Okay.
Yeah. If Wrangler could get you one of those older circle skirts that aren't like penciled that everyone's wearing this season, you'd be like all there, wouldn't you be? Um, but, like, you've been doing a lot of dancing in Oh Wild Something. I gotta know what we've been picking up from Boot Barn. And the skirts, they do kinda double as a fidget toy, do they not? You're like, yeah." But B, you feel better with those long skirts, do you not? Speaky, speaky, Lita. Speaky, speaky. It is a podcast. No, but if you would be so kind as to finish this. Um, but I think a lot of autistic and sensory issue kids would do better at recital time if people took into account what they need for costuming. What about you?
What do you mean I feel like they would do a lot better? They would do a lot better. There's no, oh, I feel in my gut like something strong, or oh, I feel like this is a good situation. It's no way. This is not a good situation. There is definitely something wrong. They should be definitely doing it.
They're not though, because they don't understand. And I think we do need to have an entire deal on sensory issue fidget toys, i.e. your costumes as fidget toys. Because I don't think anyone understands fidgeting is stimming. Stimming is good. It makes you happy. Let's just keep going with it. But for the costuming, you have to like your favorite costumes have all been sensory friendly, have they not? You're yawning because it's been a long week. But am I wrong and all of your favorite costumes have been sensory friendly?
Eh, yeah, they're probably my favorite costumes. Not my, oh, hey, let's throw these in hell costume.
I think a lot of people don't understand how important that is in life.
I also don't know how to use let's properly, so
We are going to link back to your 5 least favorite, but comparing the costumes between your least favorite and your favorites. Um how much easier is it for you to perform on stage in a costume that fits your sensory needs?
it, if we like it's not good on me as long as it's like freaking easy. Like, oh all people.
It is not obvious to teachers. It is not obvious to teachers. It is not obvious to studio directors, Lita. A lot of them think you can overcome that sensory issue.
I have to say, I feel like a dinosaur would see the ability better.
Except that, ignoring that minor issue, how much easier is it to learn the choreography and know the choreography in an outfit? Because a lot of studios, have requirements, and like you going into hip hop, a lot of times if they say you have to have long pants, I'm like, she's not gonna learn a thing in this hip hop class. And then teachers are like, yes, she will, because this is what we're doing. And I'm like, she can't learn in the long hip hops or pants. How much easier is it to learn the choreo if you're wearing something that's within your sensory issues?
Let's say we're trying to help people who get season obvious. Let's see how dogs see how like a something in orbit with nothing ability people somehow some way less about the freaking this freaking error than dinosaur.
Actually, it's not something that a lot of studio directors understand. A lot of dance teachers don't understand how important that is.
Does anybody have a telephone so I can call them all Darwin? And they no? Yeah.
I have one more thing, and then I want to get on to what our important news for the podcast is. Um, how much better do you like it when a teacher and a studio director cares about your costuming needs and put you in costume you can handle?
And I just said that.
And there's the answer to life. All right, so we are going to link to your 5 least favorite costumes.
Yes.
But we have some amazing news about podcasts that we wanted to put out. Lita, what did we just join?
The famous Mr. Alex said this mommy join.
We joined Podmatch Network, which is a new network for indie podcasters. Part of the joys of this network is we keep all the rights to our podcast. We do not have to tell them how many downloads we have, blah, blah, blah. Nothing is going to change. Okay, a few things are going to change, but nothing important is going to change about the podcast. We are changing the name now.
We changed it to
No,
we're back to Derp and humans.
no, okay, the name change isn't that dramatic. We are adding the name changes. Give me a drum roll, Lita. Okay. We are going to put a dill in here. Lita, give me a tappity roll. We are going to change the name to Lita's Tap Stas and My Autistic Life. You're giving me a teenager look.
Any cooler.
Oh, I think it works. It keeps the name people of. What are you laughing about? Or B? Is that what you think?
I was gonna say. Oh yes, wait, this I'm just slap that on this status got space five what
Okay, so we're just adding. We There are living kids, and then there's my kid. No, it keeps the tap because Tuesday is all about dance. It's all about tap. It's all about your light as an autistic tap dancer, and the Friday guests and the Friday people still get to hear about autism, right? And the neurodiverse world and shed some light. Hopefully, some of our listeners who listen on Tuesday to all the tap and dance stuff will come over and listen Friday about what autism and neurodiversity is all about. Don't you hope, Lita?
yes. And if any of my mentors are watching this, How about I still know you drag your butt onto here.
Wait, so
Drag it.
but we get the support of the entire Podmatch network. We get to you're like, "Please, mentors, get your little behinds on my program." You're seeing a bunch of them in late July. Um, here's the thing.
Drag their butt.
Yeah, here's the thing, and I'm gonna put this as nicely as it possibly can. Uh, and this is not dissing anyone, so please do not think anyone is being dissed on this. Um, the Podmatch network has a bunch of amazing, great. Did I mention amazing podcasters on it? And Lita's Tap South is not at that level as most of the podcasters. So April and Gabe. Hi. Sorry, I'm messing with your net. We're messing with your network, right? Miss April's on the network. You're giving me a little. I'm not dissing us. I'm just saying they are all amazing.
She just say those. What the else wrong in your head right now? Everything.
Imposter syndrome is a thing. But if you have not checked out all the other podcasts on the podcast or Podmatch podcasting network, it's amazing. You're going to hear us talk more about Podmatch for stuff. We are currently opening up our June interview calendar to get our June and July and August and September interviews done. Lita, where can they go to message us about being on the show? What's your favorite magic thingy that magically gets you podcast guests? We just joined their podcast network. Podmatch, maybe.
Oh yeah, you go to pause and you ask him to mess you and you can magic because he's caught.
Okay.
Magic.
On our website, there's a link to.
Wizard.
On our website, there is a link to podmatch.com and to.
Messing.com and Pod is a wizard, so he does the magic.
Anyways, if you were under 18 and you're one of Lita's friends, I don't think you can join Podmatch. I think the Podmatch gang needs to come up with a podcast match youth for you guys with your parents already signing paperwork and everything.
Little sister?
There's nothing for the under 18 crowd really. Podmatch, I have an idea for you. But if you are a guest, I think it's like just a few dollars a month. If you are doing a lot of podcast guesting, it is amazing. It gets you with amazing people. Honestly, as far as being the host, Podmatch has probably been my favorite. Okay, it is my favorite because I don't have to keep track of like where your bio is. I don't have to keep harassing you. Where's your bio? Where's your social links? Um where's your headshot? Because you've already put it in Podmatch. The other thing, as someone who guests on shows, because you and I guest on shows, do we not, Lita? The thing that I really like about being a guest is the host keep you updated on when your episode airs because they
cute, goofy pets.
you have floofy pets. But they keep you updated on when the episode airs because we don't, as a host, I do not get paid for having you on my podcast unless I tell Podmatch the episode has aired, which is very important. I mean, I don't get paid a lot, but paid a little is good, right, Lita? Um, that's the other thing is Podmatch does a sharing thing with the host. So we as hosts have a how do I put this nicely? We have a reason to be professional. We have a desire to be professional, and we have a desire to make sure we have. I will go past the pre-interview with someone I don't think we're bringing on because it's not worth my time. Because I'm not going to waste either of our time. But there's a distinct lack of dancers on Podmatch right now, especially the tap dancers. Hi guys, we'd like you over there in the dance and autism podcast. Hi, come on Podmatch, it's fun. But you have everything. It is a amazing.
No.
It is an amazing. It is an amazing service. It keeps messaging there so you can keep all of your messages within Podmatch. You can schedule through there. You can tell your guest when their episode's going to air so that they can help, promote it. Podmatch is also really good at promoting stuff for you. And if you are a guest who is like, I'm brand new to this, I need some help understanding everything, Podmatch offers free classes, master classes. Podmatch also offers master classes and groups to both guests and to hosts. And it's been amazing because you get to learn from people who are so much more advanced in their craft than you are. You're smirking. There's always a class going on, or you can replay classes. And we are going to wrap this up, but I am so excited to be part of the Podmatch network. That is absolutely great. We are looking for guests, and we are going to link our Podmatch guest below each and every episode. So from now on, you're going to see that link on every single description. If you are interested, d- send us a message on Podmatch. And seriously, just join because you're going to find so many people, aren't they, Lita, who are willing to host you.
But nee took money.
Yeah, and if you are a podcaster or you're getting into podcasting, Podmatch is where we have been from the very beginning to find guests. We found our first guest, I think, within 24 hours of joining Podmatch.
Oh,
You're like, I don't do the behind the scenes. I just hop on the couch and do these episodes.
yeah.
And I think it's been amazing. We've reached out to some guests. We have had guests reach out to us. We get paid to have most of the guests on the show. Um, So as a host, I think I've always made back my $6 a month for being part of Podmatch. All right. Well, we are going to uh, let everyone get back to their week. This Friday, we have Rob, Mr. Rob's on again. Ryan was busy, I think, rock climbing. But if you heard our previous episode from Rob, he's on to talk about being a parent and of a kid who isn't typical and some of the things he went through, and to give parents hope at the end of the tunnel that, you are the best judge of what your kids need and do that. Join us over on Podmatch if you're a guest or a host. Um,
Oh, also, if you want the mementos, drag your butts on here.
I mean,
How would you my soul talk friends?
they have just have love free have the both on here. Also, hit you with a lip lock. FYI to a few of your mentors and adult friends, you personally do not have to do your Podmatch. They have agency options, so your agency could run your Podmatch, and that means you're not getting inundated with all these requests to be on this show. Though, Lita would like you to come on the show. She's just saying,
Or else I'm kidnapping you in the night.
go check it out. You're not kidnapping them. You are, however, going to yeah, what up? Come on the show, guys. If you're like, I'm just autistic, what do I have about the show? Come on the show. Your lived experience is worth it to us, isn't it, Lita? And dancers, Lita's getting tired of having Tap Tuesday just about me bugging her over her life, right, Lita? There is a nodding going up.
I said, and he's so dark. Dragon ever loving that. He's a dragon, but our dragon that challenge your butts.
And you're seeing them in late July. All right. Well, see everyone Friday. Have a great week.
That was my present late July.